This mod review is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment. So guys, today I bring you a massive pack in the CSZ Equipment pack. Now this mod was available in Farm Sim 17, and in Farm Sim 19, well, they seem to have just taken this and completely run with it in a massive way. What we have in front of us here is just a minor subset of what is available in this entire pack. For example, right here in front of us, we have one of the many adapters that are available in the pack. This particular adapter allows you to convert 3-point hitch to telehandler attachments. Now, all of the implements that we have here are the wheel loader, or the front loader. Sorry, all of these attachments are the front loader version, but there is a skid steer and telehandler, and in lots of respects, a wheel loader version of each and every one of these. We also have modded versions of the John Deere and Stoll front loader forks, and that is because all of these attachments have hydraulics, and all of these front loader arms now have hydraulic hookups also. So when you connect these to the front loader arms, you're going to get hydraulic hookups. And leading on into that, we've got modded versions of the Manitou and the Massey Ferguson telehandler that have hydraulic hookups. We've got the modded New Holland wheel loader with hydraulic hookups. And we have the modded Kramer here with, again, hydraulic hookups. So this is a massive set, and I tried. I was going to buy one of every single thing that was available in the set, and I basically ran out of room here in the shop. And, excuse me, but I decided that I probably wasn't going to take 4 hours to move each and every one of these implements up to my larger display area in order to display these things. So let's just jump into the store and kind of give you a sense of the size of this pack. Go to brands. This is going to be the easiest way to show this off. Go to the tag here, brands, CSZ. Okay, this is going to show us all of the CSZ equipment. Now, the only thing that is not going to display is going to be the modded versions of all of the self-propelled and the loader arms. See here, we have the New Holland W190D. This is compatible with the CSZ pack, and basically it has hydraulic hookups. So if we look here at the stock wheel loader, okay, you can see that we don't have anything here in this general vicinity on the stock wheel loader. Go to the CSZ equivalent. See that we do have right here hydraulic hookups for our implements. Okay, right here. Go to telehandlers, for example. We have a modded Massey Ferguson 9407 and a modded Manitou. If you look at those, there are now hydraulic hookups for the attachments. Right here for the Massey Ferguson, and for the Manitou right there, right out front. Of course, if we look at the regular Manitou, they're there, but they don't function. Okay, take a look again at the modded version. Get a bit more of a manifold. Then we have our connections. We go to front loaders. We've got the Kramer. And the Kramer has the hydraulic hookups right here, compared to the stock Kramer, which has nothing there. There isn't a modded version of the New Holland's skid steers. Then if we go to tools, then we go to front loaders. Okay, we have the standard John Deere and Stoll forks, our log arms, I'm sorry. And then we have the John Deere modded arms and the Stoll modded arms that basically work with the CSZ pack. See the hydraulic hookups right here. Around the back. See if I can. It's hard to see. Right there, you can see the modded hydraulic hookups for those attachments right there in the FZ60 set. Now, here is where your 3-point to telehandler adapter is going to be found under miscellaneous. Okay, basically you back up your 3-point to here. Hoses will hook up. You can attach any telehandler implement in the CSZ pack to this, or basically, I guess, any telehandler implement at all. And now you have it hooked up to your 3-point hitch. That is pretty interesting. Now, let's go back here to brands and then CSZ. And I'm not going to talk about these yet. I'm just going to slowly scroll and just see the vast amount of implements and attachments that are part of this pack. So first up are the adapters. Let's count these. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 adapters. Then we have 4 versions of the multi-purpose bucket. Sorry, 5 versions. We have 4 versions of the multi-purpose bucket with grabber forged teeth. We have 4 versions of the multi-purpose bucket with grabber monoboc. Yeah. Then we have 3 versions of the Raptor bucket. We have 3 or 4 versions of the horizontal grid bucket. We have 4 versions of the horizontal grid bucket with grabber. We have 4 versions of the vertical grid bucket. We have 4 versions of the vertical grid bucket with grabber. We have 3 versions of the bucket with central discharge. Talk about these here in more detail here in a bit. 3 versions of the hopper bucket. And 4 versions of a silage bucket. So lots of options here. Lots of stuff to talk about. Let's go through here one by one and just talk about it. We're not going to demonstrate all of this because the video would probably be an hour and a half long. But I think it's pretty self-evident as to what lots of these things do. So again, we have the adapter that is 3-point to telehandler. We've already seen this. $1,300. Basically, we can take any tractor that has a 3-point and hook up any telehandler implement. Here we have basically, let's go back. Here we have a skid steer loader to a front loader tool. Okay, so what this does is your skid steer is going to hook up to it, and then now we can attach any front loader implement to a skid steer. $250 for that. Here we have front loader to skid steer. So this is basically the opposite of what we just looked at. Take your front loader on this side and attach your front loader arms. And now you can attach to any skid steer implement wish to attach. $250 again. Then we have front loader to telehandler. This can become quite useful because typically the telehandler tools are a little bit bigger. And you know what? You might have a big tractor that you want just a bit bigger bucket on. So you can take the front loader, connect here, and then connect this to any telehandler tool you want and make use of the front loader. Then we have telehandler to front loader. So this is kind of the opposite of what we just saw. We can take a telehandler, hook up to this, and then attach to any of the smaller front loader tools. Maybe we have something that's available for front loader. It's not available for telehandler. Well, there you go. Then we have a telehandler to wheel loader tool. Okay. So we have the telehandler hook up again, and now we can attach a much larger wheel loader tool. We have a pretty big telehandler mod, and we want to use the wheel loader bucket as opposed to telehandler bucket. Well, now we can do that. We have an adapter, wheel loader to telehandler. Reverse of what we just looked at. We can take a big wheel loader and hook up to a smaller telehandler implement. $350 for those. And those are the adapters. So let's take a look here at the multi-purpose bucket. So we have a skid steer, front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader variant. Range in capacity from 1,500 liters, 2,000 liters, 3,000 liters, and 4,000 liters. They take all of the standard fill types here on the map. Not on the map, well, in the game, I should say. And there are no configuration options for those. There are no hydraulic hookups. This one. On to the next set. We've got the multi-purpose bucket with grabber forged teeth. This takes all of the standard fill types again for skid steer, front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader. They range again in capacity 2,000, 2,500, 3,500, and 4,500. So these have a little bit bigger capacity than their standard bucket cousins. Well, I was saying that. Oh, here we go. We have a large capacity wheel loader bucket at 5,000 liters. That's how we have 5 of these. We have a standard 4,000. So comparing this one, 4,000 liters, to this one here, 4,500, one with the teeth has a little bit bigger capacity. So theoretically, you could claw down on this and hold a little bit more. There are no configuration options for these, but we do. Now that we have hydraulics here, have hoses up. And we move over to the multi-purpose bucket with grabber monoboc. Okay. Once again, we have skid steer, front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader variants. And once again, we have 2,000, 2,500, 3,500, and 4,500 liter varieties. And it holds all of the standard fill types on the map. See, these teeth look a little bit different than they did in the other bucket, so this is kind of a visual preference, if you will. Then we have the Raptor bucket for front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader. So we do not have a skid steer variant to this. 1,000, 3,000, and 4,000 liter capacities. Once again, it holds all of the standard fill types here on the map. And this one is rather interesting in that it opens up here in the middle. So you would scoop up whatever you want, and then basically you could use the hydraulics, basically open it, split this up, and then your contents would basically dump straight out right here. We'll try to take a look at that in a little bit once we get done talking about these. Then we have the horizontal grid bucket for skid steer, front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader. Range and capacity of 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000 liters. Now, these buckets only do potatoes and sugar beets. They're kind of designed not for grain, because the grain would just fall out. Not for fertilizer or seed or anything like that, because they would just fall out. These are designed for the larger bulk products like potatoes and sugar beets. Once again, there are no configuration options on these. Then we have the horizontal grid bucket with grabber. Once again, potatoes and sugar beets only. Now the only difference between these is that we now have a front claw, if you can, grabber that basically closes down, forms kind of a cage. So the capacity should be a little bit bigger on these. 2,000, 2,500, 3,500, and 4,500. And again, these are skid steer, front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader. On. Then we have the vertical grid bucket. The only difference between this one and this one is the orientation of the bars. On the horizontal grid, basically the bars are going across. Horizontal. Vertical, bars are going vertical. But again, I think it's more of a preference as opposed to really serving a different purpose. We have skid steer, front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader variants again. 1500, 2000, 2000 front loader, 3000 for the telehandler, and 4,000 liter capacities for the wheel loader. Then we go to vertical grid bucket with grabber. So just like the horizontal with grabber, now we have vertical, again, skid steer, front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader, 2,000, 2,500, 3,500, and 4,500 liter capacities. Then we move to the bucket with central discharge. It says this game does not include discharge of the shovel in two different ways. We have chosen to deactivate the frontal discharge to allow the use of the customized discharge of the shovel. So you can see there's holes in the back here. What this does is basically it will discharge out the back middle of the bucket, it looks like. We have a variant for the front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader. 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000 liter varieties, and it holds all of the standard fill types for the game. And we have the hopper bucket, which pretty much does the same thing, just a little bit different shape and a little bit different configuration. Front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader. 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000 liter varieties again. And then finally, we have 4 different versions of a silage bucket. And this is basically, think of it as a mini TMR mixer. You could use it to do chaff, total mixed rations, hay, silage, and straw. We have a skid steer, front loader, telehandler, and wheel loader version. 1,500, 2,000 liters, 3,000 liters, and 4,000 liter varieties. See it? Basically, the way this works is you would come up to your heap, maybe at the silage bunker, and this would turn on, and basically you would chew up into the bucket silage. You could do the same with respect to loose straw and hay, and then basically you would see your mixed rations. Be able to basically pour those mixed rations into a feeding area. Now that we've kind of given a quick rundown on all of what these things do, let's look at a couple of these in a little closer detail. Here we have the big central discharge hopper. Okay, so you've got what looks like a bucket in the front. Around the back, we've got a little different configuration where we have a hydraulic ram that slides a door across a center opening. So that would be kind of useful. Maybe if you're trying to put fertilizer in a fertilizer spreader, I could see where you would maybe scoop up a big heap of fertilizer, then hold this over the fertilizer spreader, and then basically dump it. Let's get in the Kramer here and try to demonstrate a few of these. It was kind of interesting getting these parked in here. Okay, so here we are. Basically, you would have to come up here and scoop in. Got my fill silo over here. Let's see if I can get this. Let's put, do I not see fertilizer? It's all seed. Let's do seed. Alright. Oops. Uh-oh. I dumped seed out on the ground because I left the door open. Okay, let's figure out how to close this door. Alright. Life lesson. make sure you close the door before you fill this bucket. That's funny. The action cannot be... What? What action are you trying to do? I'm not trying to do any action. Alright. Let's get a cedar. Oh, let's get this. Tractor. Okay, and basically we right click. And we move our mouse left and right. Basically open the door. Let's look at this a little bit closer detail. Right click and left. Opens the door, close it back up. There we are, we're basically putting seed. Here you can see the hydraulic hookups. There we kind of put seed into our cedar. That was kind of interesting. Drop that off. This is this bucket is similar. Also has a hole in the bottom. Again, we could do something similar with this one. Go back over here. And let's just pick it up off the ground. See, we have some seed now. Oh no! What did I do? Close it. Door must have somehow been opened. That is something to be cautious about, is to hey, stop it. Alright. Like I said, that is something to be cautious about, is just to make sure that your door is closed when you're trying to fill these buckets. Really sure. I thought the door was closed on me, but somehow it got opened up. See, we can't dump that way. We have to basically open the door. Then once you open the door, it comes out. Close the door back up. I don't know, those two seem to be a little, maybe a little sensitive, a little touchy. We have our grid bucket with verticals. it's just going to be a bucket. I'm just kind of moving it out of the way. Grid bucket with horizontal arms. Stuff out of the way. Cooler stuff. So here we have the vertical bucket, the bucket with vertical bars. And if we right click, we can open and close wall. The fact that the hydraulics hook up, that's really a nice touch. Something that should have been in base game. Really want to get to, there's two more that I want to get to. One is right here, and the other one is right there. I just bumped it out of the way. Let's go over here and basically get some, let's get some product. Let's get some, oh, okay, let's get some wood chips, okay? Alright, there we go. So we got some wood chips. Now make sure these things are closed before you fill them up. We have our wood chips. And what I want to do is basically to unload this, I basically right click and I slide left or right. Basically you can see it opens up the bucket from behind. Put it up. Open it, close it. Make sure it's closed all the way, because it, again, a little glitchy if it's not quite closed. Open and close. There you go. Look at one more, and then we're going to call it a day for the CSZ pack. But again, massive amount of adapters. Pretty much you can adapt anything to anything else. Then all kinds of buckets. Now in 17 there were a few other adapters. I think there were some forks, and there were a few other interesting adapters that were a part of this pack. They don't seem to have made their way into the 19 version. I think maybe the 19 version is pretty much focused on various versions of the buckets. So if you take a look here, you can see that we can basically mix rations in this. The F1 menu, we have our mixing ratio. Right click, and we can go, oh, we're just extending our front loader there. Turn it on with the B. And if we had a silage, we could come in here and chew it up. Taking a look at our ratios, again, these don't store too terrible much. It would be perfect for maybe topping off your cows if you only had a few. Or if you basically were trying to go ultra cheap and you didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on your TMR mixer. That way. So guys, that is the Mega CSZ Equipment Pack by DD Mod Passion. This can be found over at the Farm Sim website, Mod Hub, or in the in-game Mod Hub. So let me know what you think of this bucket pack, if you will, and adapter set. Until next time, happy farming.